Hello once more and welcome back to my channel. Knowing closeness is more than merely physical contact. It involves tapping into the more profound emotional and psychological characteristics of your spouse. In this video, while important that women frequently desire for their partners to touch, demonstrating these motions can improve impressions connection. We will also explore the psychology of these preferences based on female psychology, Stoicism, and to assist in creating a more deep connection in your relationships. The importance of maintaining eye contact. Click the subscribe button if you're interested and prepared to step up your handling connections and unleash the potential of an Stoic in your life. Means Thatcher in the appropriate location. Each video provides you with one more step toward mental mastery and making deeper, more significant confidence. Let's get going. Okay, this is the harsh reality of closeness, is more than simply the physical aspect of it, further into the power of touch and attraction, the domain of trust, then thought, relationship and comprehension. You might believe fat talk is everything. However, most men overlook this secret weapon, the art of making eye contact. Yes, I am discussing the type of eye contact. It breaks down and cuts through the noise walls and fosters a closer bond. Marathon. You ever thought you've most likely felt it prior? Those instances where looker in thighs and the entire world is apart. It's not about looking at her clumsy like some creep. This isn't the same. This is about docile silences when words run accessory and your eyes are It's at unstated amid all speech connection that speaks louder than words. When your eyes meet hers, you could see it resembles a surge in an electric current. That's the power of the E between you. To contact has the ability to powerful due to its honest and raw, and it can help you nearer than you ever imagined. However, the worst part is that eye contact isn't only abdurizing desire. It's also obliging trust. When you investigate her eyes, and she notices that you're completely present, at which point, the genuine relationshipers, she'll realize you're not merely in it only physically, but also emotionally. It's also about psychological trends. To her thought, she cares that it's not preoccupied her. You're with her, but you're immersed in your own thoughts in that instant, which is real port. And don't just believe me when say that science supports. They're least triggered by this up contact of oxytocin. The damage that caused fostering love and trust, so that each one you meet hergus, you're literally fortify your. It goes beyond simply touching the appropriate places. The goal is to evoke an emotional rooted connection. This is when the Stoic way of thinkingness used to play. The Stoics, where Marathon first place subtle but powerful, just regulating their surroundings, realize that true power comes from controlling how you react to the outside world. And in closeness, that entails being totally available when you gaze at her with goal, when you're not preoccupied with you're not considering for afterward, when you're alone with her. At that point you assume commandably. At that point, you'd menstruate to her thought. You're not merely a man seeking affestives, but someone who appreciates this bond. So the next time you'dn't be afraid to make eye contact with her. Fair. Look intently and firmly. Give her some impression that you're other when you do. Let her know that you appreciate her. You're not mere disarray, building a relationship of trust, relationship that transcends the surface heat, which point things truly begin to. Eye contact is more than just a technique. That power in the less visibly. It's revolutionary because on seal bag, and once you've mastered it, you'll see the difference. I assure you, a talent that transcends closeness and will transform how you relate to thirst, how you cultivate connections, and our appearance in the globe. And after you discover how to utilize that power, and you'll both probably okay. Let's discuss the power. Is a myth thing that most men overlook of contacting the less visible areas. You'll believe it's all about the typical of the locations they very undiscussed are losing out on an entire line degree of connection. Allow them to give you a hefty blow. The truth is that a woman's body has spots that trigger properly touched. Response that are far more intense than you may believe. That these secret locations where once you figure this out, the maggot happens out, you'll be able to establish stronger matter miss just as much. If you wish to create that intense connection, you must select your words with caring. No nonsense, no flattery. Just because genuine flattering remarks coming from a location of genuine. Tell her how beautiful she is, certain, but make it personal. What you adore about her, and what motivates you. You're crazy, but it's notly about. Gratitude is always important. Anticipation is fourth place, ultimate touch point. Crucial observation. The hinting or tantalizing what comes next might cause her to cling to every word is an effective strategy fit. Here, you're painting a picture, not just talking a mudge in her head. Gradually gain strength, that stress that she ice waiting for discover what comes next, and it begins. Let's discuss pace slowly now that we have you occasionally talk. So you're revealing a secret, oh her alone. It strikes that gentle personal tone distinct. But don't be scared to change it up to become little stiffer every shift in bold but keep it warm. You may keep her by using your voice compulsively absorb sharpening her senses in ways that words can adequately design. It's the subtle reason that is important. Combine gently touching her, perhaps stroking her neck or put your hand on her back. This is the cold truth with passions, something you must comprehend. Soft strokes that have a greater impact than great gestures can be disarmed with words pleasant, but those peaceful provide the whispers that give her feelings. Actually sincerely hoped she will recall those, she will remember certain much longer than this. Isn't about playing anything else. This game's about being authentic and deliberate. Ants is where the Stoics and Stoic philosophy believed in having control over your ideas, your behavior, and the influence that you have on other people. It's not simply about regular Tinger speech regarding presenting it with intention. Your words have the power to create chaos or tranquility, relation. You own the ability to produce something to noble, but it demands master of buying totally present to your feelings and use authority to establish a sincere port soffit the following time. Don't rely solely on her, since you're close to her. Physical contact communicates with apapass, using your voice to convey message and establish the tone to arouse your desire, since in the end ultimately it doesn't matter how much you claim that about your words and your manner show her how you feel. Ants, nobody can in your power or how tiered her reapistry. Quickly a question for Yab 4. We resume. Which method do you prefer for creating deep relationship with a woman? I would adore for you to leave a remark, Bellawand, provide your ideas. Or, if you're unsure about what the exempli type and link will be, establish in the briefment. Paying attention to your viewpoint makes these discussions that far more significant, and at Makista's video, even more accessibly. Who could find it for? Therefore, go, please take a moment to leave a comment. I'm eager to read your next words. Let's continue, and the finest part is still in front of. Number 4. Sweetie touches that are more expressive ethne words. Speaking about your hands, they're not only to be touched, they are rather to forget a brute force or haste when communicating. This strength is in thy intention and accuracy. Imagine that quality is more important than thy quantity. Each touch is like a brush stroke on her body, and the canvas are really masterpiece. Gradual trace of a gentle graze, a longer back down her stomach, or a gentle pat on her thighs can establish a stronger bond beyond merely physical. The key is to explore with touch diversity, glide off temperature and pressure, speed running your fingers over her flesh or applying pressure. Her back's tiny. These small actions reveal a lot about her. A gentle pat on the neck is your golden zone. A stroke around her neck or behind it waves off sensation from the collarbone. She won't anticipate the major shock and dynamism you're demonstrating. Do her distinct. It goes beyond what you accomplish. How you do it. A slow, methodical stroke, when paired with the appropriate pressure produces the taming. A remarkable expense is everything. Let's now introduce this. Stow instructed. Behave purposefully and be totally not responding rashly in theme. MENT. Your touch need to convey Stoic approach to physical touch attitude. Purposeful, don't and deliberate tone trial brush. It's there. So go slowly on. Let your hand will talk. Once your complete gentle touch will have a greater significance, as opposed to thy sue is will. You do anything grand, decept. It's number 5, and the real power behind pleasure. If you're re-thinking of man who is still here, we are neither to settle for mediocritisms. You're not content with this surface level of enjoyment. Beyond the next you're seeking depth and insight, not cheap thrills and genuine bonding, which is what isolates the mind's actual power in intimacy between men and boys. So let's examine the THL. Let's examine THL. Like look at this. Let's end me with this. Let's send me land. We all know I've been exploring that me CHL is case. So it's case lads and with KT thralls. And we send my TWELTHL. We send my THL. I case me ATL ATW. AKTWA FK. We see to go to you to see with you. weaken it, you can't true, strength bend it. Most men believeth that, pleasurize everything regarding pebity, the hands, the contact moves, but allow me to provide a bit of information. Ruthless intellect weighs the most powerful thing in your mind is organ that interprets each and to very touch every word to become an expert of skull. But if you're not participating, you're missing the point. Desire in her view. It all starts with pleasure and fulfillment in the Mindir brain. McKist's final decision who thrills her, what feels good, what makes her want to step more. If you want to concentrately on her physique you'll missed. Get in touch with first in her mind, and here's the catchies. The starting point for serious power complaints conversation. Yes, I did say it well. Your hidden weapon is talk prior. Tony Hything physical happening. Take the time to learn about her preferences, what turns her on, and what makes her tick. Inquire about her dreams and establish the secure environment where Esh can express hers more at ease. You'll make her fail with you in mind. It's simpler to physically unlock her. You're a net Marilis, seeking sex that you want to produce. An encounter that energizes a very aspect of four and their mental health issues. Continue games have Thepawar to modifies game as she messages that Arero suggestive before you lay a hand on her final thoughts. An outro gives away clues about what's going to await a doll. It's among the most strong Paul thought makes you crave her to feel instant for the previous moment. It even starts let me share some knowledge stated holooks outside of dreams deepest. Pleasurize evoked inside details not originate from flashy moves that psychological and emote. Relationship use taplish here is where genuine knowing her on a personal level gives you power to poor level. Nor remember that pleasure is notely mental, does also physical reacto visual stimuli, other than touch and sound effects, softly set the scene lighting that fits the mood. This particular aren't mere details, they interactive with feels more alive of her senses closer and more genuine, and anthis is where when stoicism is applied to stoic to do teach self-control over your abilities and incapable of controlling what they taught about presence and comprehension when you are there with your spouse on an emotional level and you have mental power over the experience, which makes it strong and satisfying on all levels. So keep that in mind when you establish a with her. Recognize her desires before making contact. You're not merely making the occasion better. Her, when you get proficient, you're changing it. It's the art of mental and physical relationships. You're not merely having your care resulting in an amazing experience. Therefore, this icy hour incentive, allow me to drop something. Asa. Little reminder. By Talia Brother. Undervalue the in relation tone jointment. Their reality is the mental and emotional bond that deepens the understanding. The true significant is, if anything else, for sure, it's nice to know all the right moves, but it all depends on how you make her feel. The real thing, so the game on its head, aphrodisiac. Let's bring the very thing Pagano, intimacy between two people's marathon. Just what you're in conclusion being aware of the important areas where she desires to feel touched, intimized, more than simply physical attractions. Secret locations are where, onto your figure, this out, the Maggie Chapin's out will be able to estabe bushus. It surpasses even the most basic. I'm being gently touched as little of a faint graze down the nape of her back off her throat or a light pressure on Thea within her wrist, which is unexpected, but these low cushions are quite delicate and, when you touch them purposefully rather than haphazardly, you're a message her, in a manner similar to talking with your hands, isn't about only following the procedures. It's about giving each action purpose like a quiet dialogue her body recognizes. Now consider areas such as Rhea, her neck holders, or knees, even her earlobes, may appear tiny or inimportant, but believe him, when say it they possess enormous potential. The second place, the emotional trigger key, is in how you talk them. Occasionally with a gentle touch, works far better than going out. A solid plaything, softness and pressure, and observe how your body reacts in unexpected ways. However, this is where the realist and doubt finding hidden spots is more athend. Just making showing her physical pelleria is the goal, that you are there and that you are concerned enough to examine. What truly brings her joy. These locations have adora connection, Noah, mechanism of pleasure, and when you'll baitain it, yes, you'll ignore more the exterior, and you finish her body, will be grateful. No words. Era needed. Let's it not about playing games. Let's face it. This is about making a deeper connection. Level. It involves looking past appearances, level encounters that the majority of men are involved in, and genuinely conversing with her in some manner that fosters closeness, and have faith when you investigate these surprising spots. Soar, not merely stroking her body, you're making her feel something in thoughts. What distinguishes those who soar from individuals who leave a lasting impression? And here's another strong hairstyle tip for her. May seem easy, but managing you're playing with her hair, with her fingers, or simply giving it a light pat can feel extra malapit. Such as this extends beyond the physical realm, conveys concern, affection, connection, which escaming, consoling, and demonstrates to your attention and presence into her. Therefore, let's go on to the next point. Just leave when you're near her. Slow down and take your time at the typical locations, and investigate less evident areas. Observe how her bodice responds, and when you experience mastery, the skill of speaking and threat of delivery, lean into the response. It's about hurrying or kicking boxers, ensuring that every touch matures belly when you begin to take note of these areas. You'll establish a degree of intimacy that she will never forget. So let's bring in some of the Stoics' knowledge possess, the ability to present and concentrating on the present and exercising control. What you can. In third place, the secret spot. Most men ignore the closeness space. They tentails being totally present, rather hurrying through the physical examination to reach. The ultimate objective is to comprehend the effect of each touch, very instant as well as your reaction to it. When you do, I'll see that's most profound force is not used to create connections. They're created by being patient and presenting comprehension. So that the next time I'll keep in mind that it's not simply about the obvious locations. Focus on the small topics that nobody discusses, and the ability to be totally present with, since doing so will result in the development of a relationship that's more than just physical, real, passionate, and unforgettable. Okay, so let's be honest for a moment and discover how to master art of number 3 of your words, and more crucially, how, as you mentioned, most men don't notice this, but believe me, it's a gun. Share the key is actual contact. Thus, it's crucial. But what really matters is your voice weapon. Thirsters have spoken words. You might ignite a spark with intention that you didn't even knew it was feasible to consider this. Most men didn't even think about there. However, I must say that it's absurdly, the appropriate words were whispered at the delicate, the appropriate tone, at the proper moment can have a significant impact on many males engrossed in the depending on appearance or what should function. But I can you that intent and tone, what truly make you stand out. Words certainly words are instruments, and when utilized they are deadly whispers, so use them carefully while you're near her. Anything in her ear,